The time for wait is over. No more exhibition races, no more qualifying races. However, the biggest race of the year kicks off here at the Daytona National Speedway. Welcome to On MDK's coverage of the Daytona 250 from the Daytona International Speedway. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first episode of the Core League on MDK Crew Show. I am your host, Jack Carls, and alongside with me for the first time, I have a co-commentator. And he is one of the best, the 2019 Summer Showdown winner. It is Cody Workman. Welcome to the show, Cody.
Thank you for that beautiful intro, Jet. Appreciate it. But yeah, I just can't thank all the people at Core enough for having me on board for this season, and I can't wait to call the action with you guys and give analysis. It should be a fun season.
All right, we are thrilled to have you with us here. We have some segments that we're going to talk about here, some early season predictions, as well as we're going to go over the starting line for tonight's Daytona 250. So one of the major changes with the Season 2 edition of the Core League is with the schedule. We have now expanded down to 21 races, or 22 races, including an official Pro Bowl. Let's take a look at the schedule right now. We started off, of course, with the Daytona 250. And the laps, a lot longer now, 100 laps around the 2.5 mile racetrack. Then we head on to Richmond, Virginia for 200 laps. That takes place on December 1st. Homestead, Miami, now be the third race of the season, will be 134 laps. Then our first road course, we go up north to Canada, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, 40 laps around that racetrack. Then we get back to the United States and another short track, Martinsville Speedway, 250 laps around that 0.5 mile paperclip. Then we head on to Kansas for 134 laps led during Christmas weekend. And then we head to the Open, the Eldora Open, trucks on dirt, 38 laps. And then we head on to the All-Star race. We got a lot of money on the line, 150 laps the day after Christmas. Michigan, a 100-lapper event, takes place December 29th. And then we head to the world's fastest half-mile, Bristol Motor Speedway, 250-lap event to kick off the new year of 2020. Then our second and last road course of the season, Watkins Glen International, 45 laps on January 9th. Then we head to the 2.5 mile track, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the famed Yard of Bricks, on January 16th. Then Darlington at 184 laps led, throwback weekend, I believe, on January 20th. Then 134 laps around Chicagoland Speedway. And then, of course, one of the biggest, most unpredictable races on the schedule, Talladega Super Speedway, 94 laps on January 30th. February kicks off out west at California at the Autoco Speedway, 100 laps around that 2-mile racetrack. Iowa, the last short track of the season, 140 laps on February 11th. The second to last race of the season, the Monster Mile, 200 laps around that racetrack. And then we ended out just like how we did last season, 162 laps around the very bumpy 1.5 mile Atlanta Motor Speedway. So Cody, my first question for you is, of all the races that you see on the schedule, which race are you most looking forward to in Season 2?
Well, first off, just the schedule itself. I mean, when you look at the tracks that we're going to, not only do we have the ability now to bring these Cup cars to the Xfinity and these Truck Series races, but also the order that they fall. So I mean, if you just look through the schedule, we don't ever have two short tracks back to back, or two intermediate tracks back to back, or two road courses back to back. Literally every single track that we go to every single week is going to be an entirely different racetrack. So that in itself is going to be a challenge. I know me personally, I'm a huge road course fan. I think, we've seen a lot of guys, especially at Canadian Tire and Watkins Glen, the two road course of the season, just people pushing as hard as they can. And those, as well as some of these short tracks, those are really big drivers' racetracks where, hey, necessarily, you don't have to stay in the draft. A lot of it, is just on the driver itself. So I think those tracks, short tracks and road courses, that we can really get to see who are some of the better drivers are. Not saying that you won't see that at some of these other intermediate tracks, but the intermediate tracks, the super speedway tracks, if you can just stay in the draft and stay in contention, especially, if the late race yellow comes out or whatnot, you got a shot to, if not get the win, get a great finishing position.
And speaking of super speedway, specifically with NASCAR Heat 4 and the different drafting package that they have, it should make some unpredictable racing.
I know, absolutely. I mean, Tyler, I was one of those people that one of the first tracks I went to when NASCAR Heat 4 came out was directly to the super speedways. And I'll tell you what, 704 Games and their whole entire physics department, they did a phenomenal job with the super speedway package. We're able to see guys, give each other huge shots in the bumpers, door each other, holding at 3-4 wide. Now, obviously, if you're going to send it down to someone going to the corner and wash up, yeah, you're going to cause a wreck. But, with this new physics package that we have now in Heat 4, it encourages more aggressive, more forgiving racing if these guys push that aggressive level.
And of course, with being more forgiving, they're just going to take that to their advantage and make even more aggressive moves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what we already saw last night. Cody Hicken 4 wide below the apron to take the lead in duel number 2.
That was amazing. And see, here's the thing. I mean, that's one of the big things too. With Corley. I kind of like how in this league there isn't that yellow line rule. Yes, it does encourage those insane moves that we saw from Cody Hickens last night, going 4 wide below the apron into turn 1. That in itself, from the try over the turn 1, that is not a lot of space to make below the line passes. Usually you'll see below the line passes down the back straightaway. But yeah, just this aggression level. Doesn't matter if the custom series or a default series, not just being a default series, guys just going all at it. And I love that with this yellow line rule taken out of place, it encourages guys to go at it more. They can worry strictly about racing, not where, okay, am I running low enough on the track? That's just one less thing that those guys have to worry about.
And that yellow line rule that you mentioned, we're going to talk about it later on in the show. That's going to be a very hot topic to determine who will win today's Daytona 250. Well, another change with the schedule, or not with the schedule, but with Core League in Season 2 is the roster list. We have some new faces entering the Core League in Season 2. Let's take a look at it right now. Now, the R stands for real paint schemes and the C stands for custom paint schemes. A little asterisk located next to their name indicates that they are Rookie of the Year contenders. WinVal 8820 will pilot the 00 car, as the last year he piloted the 66 car. Kamikaze Games goes from the 78 car to a custom 06 car. What If Racing goes from the 6 car of Ford to the 1 car of Chevrolet. Ed Zaunet remains in the 2 car, as well as Sloppy Joe also moves from the 12 car to now the 8 car. IDK Player returns once again after he quit halfway through the season, returns for a full season. He pilots the 12 now Ford Mustang. Eric Estep remains in the 20 car. Danny B. Talking moves from the 88 to a now 21 Ford. Brendan Littell stays in the 22 car. Black Lives Matter goes from the 43 to now the 25. Season 1 champion Dale Reynolds goes from the 32 car to the 27. Cody H. Gimme pilots the 28, just like last year. And then we have 3 straight Rookie of the Year contenders. Jake Baskinger, who piloted the 42 car in the season finale for Jarrett Lundberg. He now drives the 38 Ford. Diego Alvarado, how about this? An esports driver, one of 2 drivers along with him and Sloppy Joe. He pilots the 43 car for Richard Petty Motorsports. The 48 car, Michael Marouz, trying to give that 48 car some vengeance, at least have some form of success. He is now returning for full time as a Rookie of the Year contender. Rusty Ross goes from the 3 car to now a custom 59 car. Drive through another rookie out of Canada, pilots the 77 Ford. And Twisty Farrar, or Joseph Lombard, goes from the 9 car, to the 82 car. Raw Gator goes from the 14 to the 85. The Iceberg, Jarrett Lundberg, goes from the 42 to the 88. Caleb Hoffman goes from the 10 to the 92. And Ryan Labonte, or One Incarnation, remains in the 95 car. Alright, so we've just listed all those drivers. Cody, with you have raced with a lot of these drivers. Who's your eye on in Season 2?
I mean, you can't ignore Sloppy Joe. I mean, he's one of, not only was he a pro leaguer, but he did pretty well. I believe just on the PS4 side of things that they had their own little points format that they were kind of keeping track of. And I believe he finished around 4th place out of all the PS4 guys for ERCR. So obviously a real talent in that. He's going to be a guy to watch out for. But, I always think about, at the end of last season, the top 3, maybe the big 3 if you want to call them, were What If, Ed Soundhead, and Dale Reynolds. Now, we saw, What If, he didn't have the strongest of starts at the beginning of that year, but about halfway through the season, he just started going on a tear and winning race after race after race. And Dale Reynolds, while he didn't get a win, he was very consistent, and he didn't pick up that win until the very last race of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So honestly, I believe that winning, especially with how valuable first place points are, that wins are going to be a lot more important than just running consistently. And as we saw last year, literally every single point matters.
Yeah, and last season it came down to 1 point. I believe it came down to a best ever or best finish or lap slide. I'm not sure, but it was right down to the wire. Let's take a look now at the starting lineup for today's Daytona 250. Michael Kosey Jr. and Davin Cornelius are drive-through winners of the dual races. Start on row 1. Row 2 has Jarrett Lundberg and the defending Daytona 250 champion Ryan Labonte in row 2. Row 3 has Ed Sound in the 2 car and Brendan Littell in the 22 car. Row 4 has a couple of Chevrolets, Joseph Lombard and Rusty Walrus. Right at the top 10 is Caleb Hoffman in the 92 car and Brian Patterson that came oh so close to winning that Season 1 championship, starts in the 10th position. Row 6 has Cody Higgin and Dale Reynolds, the Season 1 champion. Row 7 has Trey Normal and Darren Gilliam. Row 8 has Jonathan Ramos and Jake Baskinger. And running out the field is Ray Jacobs and Joey Stone. So, we're introducing a new segment here to the core on MDK Crew show. It's a bit of a throwback to NASCAR and NBC, and from 2001 to 2006 they had this segment called Wally's World. Well, figure that Workman is a very skilled NASCAR 4 driver. We let him take a look or show us around Daytona International Speedway in this first edition of Workman's World.
Welcome everybody to Workman's World. We are here at the beautiful, fantastic, warm, not cold Daytona International Speedway, and we're going to take you around this racetrack for a little bit and what these guys are going to experience here in this race today. We're coming right here at the line. We are already 3 wide. Don't know how much 3 wide we're going to see in today's race, but they are going to be ultra aggressive. Look at these guys. Even though these are AI cars getting a huge bump draft right now from this 20 car, you're going to see guys leaning all over each other. Here we go, coming down the back straightaway, part where you're going to see a lot of passes being made. I had a little bit of a run there, but I got side draft. 20 car's going to give me a push, and here we go. We're going to dive it down low here, right inside of Recce Spinhouse. I'm not being mean, I'm just being realistic. With 3 wide coming off this corridor, we're going to try to get up alongside there, get some side draft. Not going to be able to do it. We saw a move like this yesterday. Caleb Hoffman, he made a huge move down to the inside in the class yesterday. Maybe not the class, it was the duels. And was able to make these passes. You can actually make passes below the line here in this series, so we're probably going to be seeing something like this coming down the back straightaway. We're going to have guys diving below this yellow line. They're going to try to beat each other down to this turn 3. But odds are we'll probably see another Donnie Allison and Cale Yarbrough moment. This is absolutely nuts right now. Guys are going to be beating, banging all over each other. It's going to be like an Oklahoma land rush. Going to get a bump here. Oh, here we go. We're going to make contact. 3 wide. We got a block. We're going everywhere. Oh, no. Oh, we know. We're flipping. Oh, we upside. Nope. We saved it. Ah! We're still alive.
Alright, well, first episode and you decide to wreck your race car. Good job.
Hey, you know what? It didn't tumble. I don't believe any splitter damage got received. It was just maybe some cowl flaps fell off. And tell you what, I hope all the admins, they don't dock my pay. I don't think I totally wrecked the race car, but, hey, you thought I was aggressive. Those guys are going to ramp it up about times 10 tonight.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, let's get to some expectations for tonight's Daytona 250. Well, we talked about earlier, you mentioned the yellow line rule. How do you think that's going to play a role in today's race? Do you think drivers are going to have to police themselves, like say, okay, hey, let's not go for the yellow line now, let's wait till the end of the race? Or do you just think as soon as they get the opportunity, they're just going to go below the line to try and take a position away?
So I think, everyone's going to be pacing themselves quite a bit to start off this race. You're going to see a lot of give and take, I believe, because especially we'll have 16 cars out on track all at once for the first time in these Days of Thunders weeks. I mean, and we know that these guys have been practicing on their own from time to time, but as far as like us being able to see all these cars together in person at one time, I mean, the shootout, there wasn't that many in the class, and there was two separate duels that didn't have that many either. So this race is going to have 2 or 3 times the amount that we saw in those races. So while give and take in the beginning of this race, I believe, maybe once in a while, if you have those guys that know what they're doing, so like Sloppy Joe, those big three from last year we talked about. Maybe even someone like Raw Gator, someone who's also caught my eye too. You may see him take those moves maybe in the middle of the race, but only if it's there. They're not going to really push the issue. But I mean, if you get some guys in the last 10 laps of those races, younger guys like Ryan Labonte, this is the only race that he won last year.
Yeah.
I think he wants, and he won that race off of brilliant strategy, might I add. And he wants to prove it. Hey, I'm just not a one-hit wonder. I want to win this race too. And he wasn't that bad in the Talladega race last fall either, or last spring. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of give and take in the beginning, but look for it to be a no holds barred with about 5 laps to go.
If it's any indication of what happened in Drew race number 2, I think we're going to be in for a treat. And so the last thing I want to mention is with the season predictions. So who do you think, who's going to be like the dark horse? Who do you think is going to be a driver that unexpectedly has a breakout season? Who do you expect to be out in front, and who do you expect to, or which drivers do you expect to sort of fall behind this season?
There's a couple guys actually, and I was actually talking to him a little bit before this race. Joseph Lombard, N2SC4R. That's what I've noticed between following him from Heat 3 to now Heat 4. Even just in his regular live streams and things like that, he's really been able to hold his car together a lot just during these little sprint races and whatnot. And when I was talking to him a bit earlier, he felt like, the new physics model in this game really suits his driving style. So, and he said too that he felt a little bit more conservative last season, and he thinks that he can afford to push that aggressive level up a little bit. So that would be one guy to watch too. And then also a guy that I feel like is really underrated, and I just mentioned him a little bit before, but Raw Gator. Me and him were 2 of the 5 people that made it into the eNASCAR Heat World Challenge a few months ago via Watkins Glen. He is a really, really good road course racer. He's going to be one of my guys to watch at those tracks, but also just any other track in general. I don't think that he's talked about as much, and he's one of those guys that are really looking to make this pro league coming up.
All right, well, so now we got the drivers that you expect on the front. Drivers you think are underdogs, or at least underrated. Who do you think is going to fall behind in season 2?
Well, I mean, just kind of looking at, you got the rookies here. Obviously, and I think, it's not effective, that they are rookies, just, they don't have the, experience with this group before. So,
really? Even Diego?
Well, I mean, not talking about him.
You mean
looking specifically, I kind of feel bad I'm saying this because he's my co-owner. But Jake Bassinger, I feel like, me personally, I haven't really seen him race a lot in public lobbies. So I haven't really gotten that experience to see him race around competitors that much. And that's kind of looking a little bit more, kind of straying away from your question a little bit, but I just want to point this out. Just looking at the rookie class too, because that's where we're going to maybe see some of the struggles at. Diego, I think he should be all right. Michael Mrutz, if he's my buddy, he carries that 1.5 average finish last year of 2 races on his back pretty good. Now I don't think it'll be an average finish of 1.5, but I think he could do well in that aspect. The main thing, is him being able to show up to races. And, all these guys, they have life outside of racing when they can't make a race. We totally understand that and expect that. But, he's one of my rookies to watch out for. I cannot believe I mentioned to him, and I'm kind of going back to your last question. Guys to watch out for a breakout year. Rusty Walrus.
Yes. I was waiting for that.
That man has hit the biggest light switch from Heat 3 to Heat 4 out of anybody, not just YouTubers, but gamers that I personally know, just from league racing, online lobbies, everything. I expect Rusty to have an amazing breakout year.
We both race with him a lot during his live streams, and he has the capability of maybe not being a championship contender, but at least being a contender out front for winning races. All right, so now let's get to the final part of the show. Pick to win. Who you got?
So this guy, and I'm surprised because I was talking to him a little bit earlier before the show started, and he actually doesn't have. I don't want to say he doesn't have the highest confidence level, but he just wants to have run a good race. But he won his dual race, and he was putting on a great battle for the win. And that shootout just came up a little bit close. I'm going to pick Michael Kossi Jr.
Wow.
That 000. I think, as we saw from the plate tracks last year, I mean, the both of them were first-time winners, maybe guys that weren't up towards the front all that much. And, Winbow, he was kind of off and on throughout the season last year. But, hey, he's definitely has the strongest momentum heading into this race right now based off of yesterday's first day of Days of Thunder. And I think Winbow gets it done tonight.
Wow. Well, to be honest, I was kind of expecting that pick, Kossi Jr. He has been really good on the super speedways. Has really been performing so far in Days of Thunder. Second in the shootout. Won his dual event. So, yeah. But regardless, who wins, it should be one to remember. That's for sure. Well, thank you so much, Cody Workman, for joining us. You're going to be staying around. We're going to be commentating the Daytona 250 coming right up here. Thank you so much for watching the On MDK Crew show. And yes, up next, the Daytona 250 from Daytona International Speedway, Pro League Season 2 opener. We'll see you next time. You've been watching the 2019 Daytona 250 presented by Odds Diego Pre-Race Show. Now, let's go racing. What just happened? What? Nah, are you serious? It says I'm good though. Oh, okay, I'm on. Alright, sorry. It said I was off, now we're back on. Fantastic. Okay. Wow. Alright then, thanks for blasting my ear. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, we're just getting ready. Wait for the invite right now. Yeah, you ready, Cody? You ready to go racing? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, just getting... Oh, they can't hear you? Alright, hold on, let's fix that real quick. Alright, how about now? Speak! They still can't hear you. Why is that? It was just working earlier. Okay, I think we'll once we get into the actual race, it probably should clear out because I have you. I forgot to put you in for the face cam, but I have you in for the scene part, for the actual racing part. So we should be good for that. Yeah, yeah. So sorry. So, but yeah. All right. So, well, even though they can't hear you, I guess I can just echo what they say. Who do you think? So you think Kossi Jr. is gonna win, right?
Come a lot in those races. Ed Soundhead and What If. Those three should be some top contenders.
I mean, yeah, I was thinking, what if Rusty Walrus? He's gonna be very aggressive. If Dual One has anything to say about it, I'm just hoping for that we just see another 4-wide pass, another Cody H Gaming.
They say Workman audio is working. I don't mean to interrupt.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Hi, people.
Yeah, Workman's here. Alrighty. It is now 8:01. Still haven't gotten anything yet.
there's no Workman video, FYI. So
Yeah.
like, that's on purpose, just so the people know.
Yes. All right. We're gonna head over to Black Lives Matter. Wait for him to start going, because I have to judge it based off of his stream. I went on the I just went on some random stream, and no lag, so that is great.
Awesome.
All right.
And then also, just making sure too, if you want to send me an invite as well, just in case I don't get one or anything.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. I guess we should maybe look at the comments, see what people are saying.
You're saying crank up Workman's audio.
Crank up. All right. Speak.
Workman's World. NASCAR Heat. Excellent. That was a wonderful bit, by the way. That was awesome to do.
Yes, that was really, really cool. Hey, for the first time of Workman's World, that was a pretty good segment. What would you guys think? Did you guys enjoy Workman's World? I thought it was good.
I thought it was excellent. I mean, I was able to not entirely flip the car, but I got it airborne without flipping.
You pulled a Robert Presley.
I'm not fired yet. I'm still tired.
Hey, that's good. You didn't wreck the car as much as I thought you did when you went up in the air.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 Workman's World.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you for the feedback, Brett.
But he's a Cowboys fan. Ugh, that's not gonna work. Nah, I'm not kidding. What are they? They're losing right now, so that sucks. It was great. People are saying, well, Racing Nate says he just tooted. So that's thanks for sharing, I guess. Super excited for Core to be back. MDK, you've been killing it for graphics and commentary. Thank you so much. But hey, to be honest, that was not all. We were very limited in terms of time, but the next period show is gonna be a lot better. More graphics, more stats, and yeah. But for now, it was just time limitations involved, and yeah. So we'll get it cleared up for next weekend's race. Hey, people are saying 100 out of 10, and then Elite says 1 out of 1,000 on Workman's World. Woof.
You're gonna have haters.
I think he probably likes it on the inside. He's just jealous. He's jealous because he had that awesome helmet on.
Yeah, that was hot too.
Yeah.
It was like.
What time's the race? Well, it's supposed to be 8, but right now it's being delayed just a bit. We should get going here in a few, so...
Any minute.
Any minute. Thanks for the show.
Some additional streams as well.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, had that up. Turn that down. I had someone else's stream on full blast for a second. Yeah. We have a rain delay. Yeah, you can say that. We have a bit of a rain delay going on. Can we get a Jimmy Spencer segment? The towel, I believe. Yeah, you want to do that? Bring the crying towel.
I'm loving ideas. I will take all ideas and inquiries can be sent to me.
Yeah, we're just gonna take it and make it better. Is Eric racing tonight? No, he's not, unfortunately. Maybe we can get it next week, but he's not racing tonight. As well as Kamikaze Games. He was originally supposed to be in it, but some stuff happened in the background, and he's not gonna be able to participate in this event. According to Kamikaze, he says he tested positive for tired itis and had to sit out for a week. His words, not mine.
I got no comment on that, so I'm not even gonna ask.
I don't want you to say anything.
I guess maybe if there's any other questions that the chat has, we can maybe answer them. As far as picks or.
Yeah, one person said, "Is Marutz racing today?" No, he's not. Again, we had the starting grid earlier in the show, whoever's in that grid, except for Kamikaze, will be racing tonight. So we got Diego Alvarado's not racing. The 48 car Michael Marut's not racing. Kamikaze Games not racing. Eric Estep's not racing.
It's
What?
Marut's.
Did I say that?
There's no A.
Oh, I said A. Oh.
There is no A between the M and the R.
I know. I thought Marut. How do you say it? Marut's?
Marut's. Like
Marut's.
And then Marut's.
Roots. Roots. Oh, whatever.
Maroots.
Maroots. Roots. That's gonna
like
be
a cow, like Maroots.
Roots. All right. Well,
this is what we do during rain delays.
Yeah. We just come up with random stuff. Are there any Canadian drivers that I know of drive through? He is from Canada. He's racing. Oh, yeah. Also, Danny B Talks. He's also not racing. Also, we're gonna say.
Yeah. We'll say there's something about drive through though, and I can't remember if I mentioned it in pre-race or not, but I think he is a rookie to keep an eye on, and he isn't really rated as high as where he probably should be. Just from the time I raced against him, he does a pretty good job at holding his car together.
Yeah.
And just like not going too crazy, like, he's able to put races together. And I think once he just gets a few races under his belt here, we'll see him start to go more aggressive and do Canada proud.
Yeah, make Canada proud. All right, so according to the admin, we got everyone in going racing in 2 minutes. 2 minutos. Minutos?
Really quick, guys. Just wanted to say thank you guys so much for that pre-race show. That was awesome. Also, invites are going out from me now. Do not accept them yet until I say so. Just watch out for the group chat, okay?
All right.
All right, cool. All right, so I just sent them to you. All right, and good luck tonight with the broadcast. Hopefully everything goes smoothly, and thank you guys so much for watching tonight. So just accept it on my when I say in the group chat, okay?
All right.
All right, cool.
All right, that was Darren Gilliam, Black Flags Matter. He starts 14th in this race tonight. Just come in and say hi, letting us know what's going on. Alrighty, so yeah, we're just gonna be waiting for him to accept us, or for us to get in the game, and then we can actually go racing. You ready?
Oh yeah, definitely. Sorry, I was trying to scroll through, pulling up live and stuff, but yeah, man, I mean, there's been all sorts of hype. Like I said earlier, there's been so much hype around this league in general, just from the amount of followers that all these racers bring to this league. And I mean, 126 people viewing this right now, and that's not counting all the drivers who are streaming right now who are competing in this event. We easily got probably at least 1,000 people in some way, shape, or form probably keeping an eye on this league. So definitely something that's worthy to watch.
Yeah, someone, I think Denny delivers. For the tech gods, hope no lag. Trust me, we're all hoping for no lag. You're not the only one. Are there stages? Mina Chair says, no, there are no stages. It's a 50% race length with 2 times tire wear. And yeah.
Yeah, and with it being the 2 times tire wear, kind of an interesting pit window there. Pit window is going to be anywhere between 23 to 26 laps. A pit window being on the higher end for some guys, for those who are maybe riding around in the back a little bit, saving fuel. And it should be interesting considering that it's a 100 lap race. And if you have guys pitting after 23, 24 laps, that puts them in jeopardy of not making it to the end on fuel and having to make an extra stop. But that's assuming we go green. And from what we've seen so far, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have like a few cautions here in this race.
Oh, I think the thing is, the more people that are in a lobby, the crazier things are going to get. That's usually how it goes with Heat 4 lobbies.
So, I mean, these guys have been practicing for weeks, months now, but as far as like us, the audience, we haven't seen these guys in a large 16 car pack, unlike yesterday where it was just like 5 to 8 cars in per duel or per shootout. So it's just definitely going to be something interesting, but highly entertaining.
Absolutely, absolutely. Alrighty. Blue Jimmy 48, the countdown is now. Yes, anytime now we should be getting the okay to join in. You got the invite, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good, good. Let's see if we can see what else is trying to say in the comments before we go focus on the race. NASCAR Flip Fan, I live in Canada. Oh, nice, we got Canadians, people all over the world joining in. All right, we got the invite to go in.
Yep.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Daytona 250 is about to begin. All right, for the love of God, please no lag.
And so we got 16 drivers up here, around 16 drivers here tonight. They're competing in this race. We got Windbound. We got Windbound starting on pole, and then I believe Drive Through, who's starting up there in second, because I think he won the other dual race, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so far everything looks good. Coast on the inside, Drive Through on the outside. Green flag is in the air. We're underway in Daytona.
Looks like we got a caution already that happened.
Oh.
I think there was something that happened right away.
A caution already on the track?
Yeah, they're in those back 3 rows between Dale Reynolds and
Trey Normal, maybe.
Teal car.
Yeah, Trey Normal on the 85 car.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, well, first caution already on the racetrack. Epic start, 10 out of 10. All right.
I mean, it was weird too, because it was like as soon as like the race started, you have to wonder, was that a controller issue? Because there was one car just turned dead left, so I don't think it was anything, driver skill or anything. It was just some wacky malfunction. But we're gonna get ready to go, okay?
Yep, attempt number 2, Kosi leading again. Green flag with Drive Through on the outside lane. Side by side entering turns 1 and 2. The inside lane has a bit of an edge at Lumberg. Chevys, Lumberg, and Walrus pushing the 00 car to the lead.
Right now in that inside lane, right behind Michael Cossey, you got 2 guys who didn't have the greatest of seasons before. We talked about Rusty Walrus right there, who's sitting in 3rd. He's a guy to keep an eye on to have an improvement of the season. But another guy we didn't really talk about, Jarrett Lumberg, sitting right there in that 88.
Whoa!
We got
92 car. The 92 car, Hoffman, got way out of shape, lost it, manages to keep it going. I believe there was one more car involved. Let's see who that. Whoa, more contact.
Oh, look at 82 of Joseph Lombard.
Oh,
around.
He's in the wall. Stopped on the tri-oval. Caution is out for the second time, I believe. Yep, yes there is. There was a lot of stuff that just happened on the back straightaway.
Yeah, I mean, there was something going in the 3. I don't know if someone was just trying to get back in the line going down the 3, but one of the cars having issues with Hoffman, and then I think guys, they were just getting swirled up coming off 4. I mean, come on guys, it's 100 laps for this race. Everyone just get single file here, like get it orderly, and then once everything gets sorted out, then we can have guys start moving for position.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by how active, or not active, but how intense already drivers are active. We saw the 92 car Hoffman on the grass this season. I believe Brendan Littell was also out of shape entering 3 and 4. They managed to keep it straight. All right, so attempt number 3. Kosi remains the race leader. But a new driver to the outside lane in 2nd place, the 88 car, Jarrett Lundberg. Green flag's back out.
Our outside pole sitter drive-through, he fell back to 5th, but good news is that puts him back on that inside lane. You see everybody quick to try to get to that inside lane as there's only really 3 on the outside, and everything gets shuffled quite a ways back here.
Look at drive-through. He's being very aggressive. Look at the movement that's
They're
happening behind
hitting
them. Hoffman bouncing back and forth. Oh, and he put Lundberg in the wall.
Too, I think, like, I don't know what kind of presets these guys are on or not, but I mean, you can just tell everyone is so loose getting up through the gears in turns 1 and 2, and thankfully everyone's held on to it, but that's left for about a 2-car tandem breakaway. You got Winval and the 00 being pushed by Rusty Walrus there. And then, but look at this run that the 77, the drive-through is. He's going to go to the outside with a push from the 2-car of Ed Soundhead.
Ford's up top, Chevy's down low, off the 12-1, entering 1. And that issue between Hoffman and Lundberg in the 88 car, that sent him from like 4th to 5th to all the way to the back of the pack. Here comes the Ford camp, drive-through and Soundhead.
I saw right there, they dropped back in line there, but what the 77, the drive-through, what he was trying to do, he was next to the 59 of Rusty Walrus. He was trying to get just a little bit of side draft. That's what you want to do to try to make passes on the exit of these corners. You want to get a side draft on them in the center of the corner, coming up off of the corners, heading in, down the straightaways. And not only will you get a better run on that outside, but also it slows that car on the inside down.
Walrus jumps up top. No one goes with him, though. Maybe Hoffman. Look, he came back up. No, goes back down, but Walrus has now helped Jonathan Ramos on the 12 car. And now he's got someone in front of him, the 2-car Soundhead.
Soundhead, one of the cars that we're kind of just told ourselves to keep an eye on. He's trying to make that outside lane work, but right now it's 3 on the outside and everyone else on that inside. I think the majority of people, after having 2 quick cautions, they just want to ride around that inside for a little bit, just try to get some green flag racing in, and then maybe start moving their way up to the front.
The side-by-side action, I believe the 9th or 10th spot, Soundhead, and I believe that's Littell. Littell now jumps up top, as well as Hoffman. Whoa, who was that? Littell! Oh, Lundberg gets into the 28 car, and the 59 car Walrus spins out of the tri-oval.
I think Jarrett, he got shoved a little bit below the line there, coming off 4, and he was trying to get back in the line, but he just adjusted a little bit, and the 22 of Brandon Littell, I believe, is what sent him down and back up into the field.
3rd caution out of the day, I believe, coming out around lap 12, I think so. It involves a 59 car Rusty Walrus. We saw the 88 car just out of shape. We thought he might be able to save it, but unfortunately the 59 car got the worst of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I mean, why 88 was turned so hard back to the right, that almost sent him straight down pit road, and it was either get sent down pit road, plus having a penalty, or try to come back up in the traffic, and he saved it, but unfortunately that caused a caution.
So right now, you've got the 70, excuse me, looks like Michael Cosi Jr. back out in front. Probably through pit stops.
Let's see what kind of pit strategy was played here, but yeah, we're back underway here.
Cosi on the inside, driver on the outside once again, just like how we started this race.
Yeah, I mean, so far, Lombard came down a little bit. He doors the 92 of Caleb Hoffman, but Caleb able to come right back up onto the racetrack. And key thing right here on this restart, if everyone on that inside can hold their lane, look at it. They're extremely loose on that inside lane, but if everyone can hold it together,
a lot of drivers
down the straightaway.
A lot of drivers jostling for position. Whoa, someone's way out of line. Who was that? This is the 88 car. Oh, and the 95 car.
Yeah, Ryan Carnation, last year's winner of this race, but that brings out another caution, I believe.
The Daytona 250 champion, Labani, as well as the 88 car, Lundberg, brings out the 4th caution of the day. Wow. So now it looks like it's setting up to be more of a wreck fest, so to speak.
I know, and with that being said, I mean, you got to start thinking about, long-term strategy. Remember, the pit window should, we not have that many cautions, was 23 to 26 laps, but obviously that window goes greater when you have caution laps. We hear it all the time about 2 caution laps equals 1 green flag lap. So something to think about, as we get towards the end of this race. If people think we're going to have a plethora of cautions at the end, maybe pit, with 35, 40 to go. But I think the key thing here is that we just need to get some green flag racing in.
All right, well, now Cosi remains the leader. But how about the 25 car? Darren Gilliam, Black Flags Matter, and that 25 black and goldish Chevrolet up to second. So we got
front here, and you mean, and once again, the 00 of Michael Cossey Jr. Been the pole sitter, and he's been up front all race. I mean, whenever I'm racing in restricted plate races, this is actually where I want to be, especially in a default lobby, and maybe there's a different amount of teammates, just because it's so easy to control the race when you're leading. But we got a car in the wall.
Oh, in the wall. That is the 38 car, Jake Baskinger, making his second career core start. His first start came last season, the season finale at Atlanta. I mean, he replaced Jarrett Longmorgan in the 42 car. And now it seemed a bit spread out. So now my question to you, Cody, as a driver in Super Speedway Racing, would you rather be in the front of the pack or near the back to avoid all the chaos?
Oh, I want to be leading right now. I want to be that 00 right now. That's one, because that's the safest place to be out front. But also, not a whole lot of people can do it. But for me personally, I like being able to control, any type of runs that are getting up on you. Usually, unless you have 2 or 3 well-organized people directly behind you that are working together to get around you on that outside, as we maybe see the 1, the 77, and the 2, they're all going to that outside. This is one of the times that 00 may have trouble blocking that run, but still the safest place to be is out front.
Yeah, we don't normally see the outside lane gain some momentum, but it looks like... Oh, and the wall, Soundhead smacked the wall just a bit. That's going to slow the momentum now. And how about second and third place, the California boys, Brendan Littell and Joseph Lombard. Even though there are different manufacturers, we could see them teaming up here on the 00 car of Cossey Jr.
Yeah, we got about 12, 13 car pack out front right now. A couple of cars that have fallen off the back of this pack. We got Dale Reynolds, defending series champion, as well as the champion from this race last year, Incarnation, and then also Jake Bassinger. He's fallen off a little bit, but still a decent amount of cars here still in this front pack, starting to make it single file.
Yeah, Ed Soundhead, lone man out in the dry. He's got no help around him. He's going to fall like a rock to the driver in the last pack, 28 car Cody Hicken.
Also, too, you got Rusty Walrus, and it looks like Caleb Hoffman. They've also fallen off the pack as well. But you have to wonder, maybe, if they want to fall back to those next pair or 2 behind them, Dale Reynolds and Carnation, if they can make their own little pack of 4, try to do what they can to run this lead pack down, but that's not what you want to see right now. If you're any of those cars, the lead pack getting single file, and they're just going to be driving away easily.
It looks like maybe a 10-11 car pack. Then you got a couple cars behind them, Walrus and Hoffman you were just talking about earlier. And then all by himself, there's Hoffman and Walrus. Then behind them, you got Dale Reynolds and Ryan Labonte. There they are. Then all the way in the back of the pack is Jake Baskinger, the lone man. He's got no one around him.
Back up front, though, leader, it's still that 00 car. And, I mean, perfect example why you want to be the leader. We've seen, positions 2nd through 11 here change hands so many times, but, there's, a couple people try to go outside to make that outside lane work, and the guys behind them oh, I'm going to duck down to the inside, gain some spots. And meanwhile, you're just seeing, everyone else behind you as a leader playing musical chairs for positions 2nd through 11th, and you're like, hey, keep doing that, boys. I'll just keep leading this freight train around.
Yeah, so we've seen the one car of Brian Pasternak. He's been the one that's trying to make a second lane. We just saw him doing it 1 or 2 laps ago. Nothing there. Everyone stays in line. Now become more of a freight train. As I say that, the Ford camp trying to create something. Trey Normal and Jonathan Ramos.
At an 85 and the 12, those 2 are pretty good friends. I kind of looked at those 2 as guys who could be pretty good drafting partners. Pretty good friends on and off the track, and that's one. Keep an eye out. If those 2 are up towards the front together towards the end of this race, they could be working together. As that 88, he is pulling some Dale Jr. magic, being extremely aggressive. He's up to 4th.
One thing I'm surprised kind of is with the yellow line rule, we haven't seen many drivers go below it to make a pass and successfully do it.
Well, I was talking with Jared a little bit right before this race, actually, and talking about, he didn't have the best season last year. He said, a lot of times, even though they had strong runs, something would just happen that jeopardized his finish. And so, basically, he said, he's just wanting to take this like each and every race, one race at a time. But especially at tracks like this, where everyone's on a level playing field, he's going to take whatever he can get. And you can see positions 4 through 6 just going back and forth.
So we got a Chevy, the race leader. Then you got a Ford in second, surrounded by 3 Chevys behind him. Then finally got another Ford and Cody Hicken in the 6th spot. So,
yeah, these guys are getting a little bit wavy back and forth a little bit once in a while. One car may go out of line, but they're pretty disciplined, all things considering, and because they're all single file. I remember just a couple laps ago, those guys had fallen off the back of the pack. Look behind this pack now. You can't see them yet.
Yeah, they have.
Now you can just barely see them coming off that corner right now. They're a good 6 seconds, 7 seconds off this lead pack.
Yeah, we're now looking at, from Ryan Labonte's point of view, the lead pack are in the middle of 3 and 4, and now this pack just entered turn 3, so they've got a long way to go if they want a shot at getting the lead.
Now that we have several laps.
Whoa!
Contact between the 28 and
Cody Hicken.
25, it looks like.
I believe that was Hicken and Gilliam.
Though he's able to keep it off the wall. It's going to find a slot right in front of Joseph,
and Joseph slides up.
Push up a little bit. Yeah, but they need to get in line here pretty quick, or else they can go in jeopardy of losing touch with this pack. And the 88,
Lundberg,
being aggressive again.
And he made a pass successfully. Jumps to 3rd place, I believe. Yes, he is. So he broke.
But anyway, like I was saying before they started mixing up a bit, now that we have several laps of green flag racing going on right now, you have to imagine, if any car is pitted under those sequence of cautions, we're nearing that point. I gotta look exactly what lap we're on right now, but like I said earlier, the window is 23 to 26 laps, and we should be approaching that window very soon.
Yeah, we are on lap 25, our quarter of the way through here on the Daytona 250, the season premiere of Season 2 edition of the Core League. Jack Krause alongside Cody Workman bringing you all the action. At first, it started out very chaotic, and now it's sort of calmed down a bit.
Yeah, but 77 to drive through. He's going to take a little bit of a look to that outside. No one's going to go with him. You see the 2 car of Ed Soundhead. He's trying to make something happen, but contact between the 28 and the 2.
Did he put him in the wall, or did he just get too high?
He may have gotten a little bit loose, and it was just an instance of where these bumpers connect at the wrong time. It will just shoot that guy behind you, either left towards the infield or right towards the wall, and nothing intentional, but yeah, just 704 games physics.
One drive I got my eye on is that 88 car. We have seen him being very aggressive. Now the 22 car looks like he's starting to get a bit antsy. You saw him going up, down, trying to find something to get by the 00 car.
Yeah, 00 though, proven that he's one of the favorites out here so far. Remember, he won his dual race last night, as well as coming home in second after coming really close to making a move for a win there. So definitely showing that he is one of the best super speedway racers out here.
All right, so I believe we have 73 laps remaining in the Daytona 250. Michael Kosey Jr. has led all by, I believe, 2 or 3 laps, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh. Oh, drive through again. He's trying to make that outside lane work. Now he's battling a fellow Ford and Jonathan Ramos.
See, a little bit of a
whoa!
The one car, I think he's
Brian Pasternak collects Joseph Lombard.
That's going to really spread out this field. Yeah, and he's lagging quite a bit, and that brings out a caution.
Oh, that brings out the caution for the 4th or 5th time.
Yeah, but the difference between this caution and the other ones, this is the first caution that we've had after a decent amount of green flag racing. And assuming that guys haven't pitted since the beginning of this race, this is definitely towards the outer edge of their fuel window. So look for guys to come down here and pit.
Yeah, from what I'm looking at one of my screens right now, it looks like all but maybe 3 drivers are pitting. What If Racing, it looks like he will be pitting actually. Yeah, and one driver that's going to help out tremendously is on your screen right now, the 38 car, Jake Baskinger. He was nowhere, not even close to a driver in front of him, and now he has the capability of getting some positions. So with this restart, how about time we crank it out? What do you say?
Let's crank it up.
All right, first race of the season. Let's crank it up here at Daytona. Whoa, who's that? Whoa, who's that spinning or way out of shape? Napa drivers had a.
Hopefully they can point out for their save. Pretty single file.
Yeah, unfortunately we had to crank it up just a bit short there. What did the last light? Not even a lap. Or we'll see if we can do it at another time right now.
Yeah, we'll get back to that later, because right now these guys, they're going absolutely nuts. And here we go, one car. He had a little bit of lag earlier, but he's going to the outside, and he has a decent amount of help. Look at that. He's got 5 cars pushing him right now. 5 versus 2. One car going to go to the lead.
Great help from the 77 car drive-through, as well as the 2 car Sounded and Cody Hicken, as Brian Pasternak, what if racing, who lost the championship. Look at drive-through. Oh, and in the wall. Cody Hicken.
We didn't hit that wall too hard. I think the game will let them stay green, and they will. But first time all day that we've seen the 00, Michael Cossie Jr. not in the lead. He's in 3rd, but he's got 2 really strong cars in front of him right now. The 1 car of What If and the 77 of Drive-Through.
Whoa, look at the 59 car Walrus out of shape.
And he saves it.
Wow.
Some wide to going down to turn 3. Hopefully they can all hold their lines together. Walrus
3 wide. Ooh, man, it's going to be close between Gilliam and Ramos, and you got Trey Normal on the outside lane off of 4. Whoa, Cozy Jr. way out of shape.
He's going to save it, though, and we got battles all around this racetrack right now.
So now it's gone from chaos to then calmness to now organized chaos. Seeing drivers getting loose, getting sideways, but still managing to keep going.
This is what we call controlled chaos.
Yes.
Look at that. Oh, the 00 thought that 88 was going to go with them. That 88 stays on the inside, and we're going to see that 00 most likely get freight trained to the back. So far, fastest car here at Daytona, he was going backwards.
Oh, and in the wall, Trey Normal. Right in front of Jake Baskinger. We're still green, but made pretty good contact with that outside wall.
Here we go, look at the 12 of IDK, look at to the outside. He's got help from Darian Gillum. He's going to give him a little bit of a push as well.
There's Littell.
Car that's behind him, Brandon Littell behind him.
And they leave him out in the dry. Littell and Gilliam comes down low. IDK trying to come down in front of Cozy. Wow, that was a bit.
They're going to peek to the inside of Rusty. Oh, Darian 3 wide.
Oh, contact. Oh, into the wall. There they go. Drive-throughs around. Michael Cosi Jr. spins as well as Dale Reynolds. Oh, and Labonte slams to the back end of drive-through.
I gotta be honest, that was a little bit of an aggressive move for only being about lap 30 or so in this race.
Yeah, but with the way
he had the run coming off the corner and tried to make a 3-wide move on the inside underneath that yellow line underneath Jarrett, but Jarrett came down a little bit, and there's a pocket, guys pumping, and that sent the 88 back up track into the 77.
But the way these drivers are racing, Cody, it's surprising, but at the same time, it was bound to happen soon.
No, and this thing is true. Everyone kept an eye on that 00 of Michael Cossi. They all saw that. While everyone was switching positions second through last, he was able to hold his position up there. So I think a lot of guys are valuing that #1 running position.
All right. Well, after pit stops now, Brian Pasternak remains the race leader. Jared Lundberg in second, row 2, Walrus and Gilliam. Cody Hicken in 5th place. Green flag once again.
I stuck up towards the front of this pack. Most of the race is that 59 car of Rusty Walrus talked about it earlier. He's one of the guys that a lot of people have been pointing their fingers at as a guy who could have a big breakthrough here. And the 95 is going to go up and...
Whoa! Oh, more contact. 3 wide.
Like.
And that brings out the caution. Was it for the 27 car?
Yeah, what happened when the 95 car went incarnation, he got really loose or something. I don't know, maybe it could have been lag too, but I saw he went up and just doored the 27 car of Dale Reynolds, put him in the wall, but then after that he sprung forward. So don't know if it was just, you know, something on his end that made him lag, or if he really threw him into the wall that hard.
Yeah, it looked like from our perspective, I only caught just a peek of the 95 car. I just saw him hit the wall, and I saw him just back into the 27 car, but wasn't sure what caused that. So what is this, the 6th caution, I believe? I don't know, it's been a lot of cautions.
57, yeah, I mean, we had that decent green flag run, and then we're starting to have another green flag run, but ever since that big one that we had, it's been a caution scenario.
2 Chevys or 2 rows of all Chevys. Pasternak and Lundberg once again lead him to the green.
The 88 car, he started on the outside last restart. Obviously, he was able to hold his second place position.
Oh, bit of contact. Look at this 3 wide in the middle. Let's help. Oh, and he put Hoffman in the wall. Oh, and more carnage. IDK's in the wall.
The left door of Caleb Hoffman. And IDK's around, and another
caution is out. What happened there? I'm not really sure what just took place.
Let's see here, going back, it looks like something happened. It looks like the 92 of Caleb Hoffman, he got thrown up into the wall, and then IDK, he was in the middle of 3 wide, and the car underneath him, in the middle of 1 and 2, sent him straight up the racetrack into Caleb Hoffman, and after they were banging around, the 12 car was backwards coming off turn 2. So, yeah, most of these cautions are happening in turns 1 and 2. And we said earlier, you know, these cars are just really loose getting up to speed. Really difficult to hold that inside and outside lane.
Yeah, really. And one driver that I'm really surprised by is the 77 car drive-through. And his first start, he's been keeping, well, I shouldn't say keeping his nose clean, but making some bold moves trying to get to the front. All right, green flag once again. Now Walrus very close to that right rear corner panel of Pasternak, out of the trouble and entering 1.
We're at 59 car route. Walrus, he's able to keep even with the 1 car.
And the 38 car of Baskinger.
But here we go. They're about ready to get 3 wide once again.
Oh,
here we go. Big wreck.
Oh, and Hicken in the wall. Big crash. Littell's involved. Who else is involved? We saw. Wait. Oh, did they get straightened out? I think. Or no. Or the caution is out. Caution's out. That's why. That's why they got straightened out.
Looks at the 59 car, Rusty Walrus. He got shoved up out of line, and then he came down. And I mean, all these cautions are a cause of guys getting loose, getting out of line, and forces at 3 wide.
Yeah, we've seen
1s and 2. You know, these guys, they just need to learn to keep the hold a steady line. What if you're on the inside or the outside? It's either guys on the outside, they get loose to get up towards the wall, and the guy behind them fills the middle and makes it 3 wide, or they're loose on the bottom and they hit the apron and then they go up and they make it 3 wide that way by pushing up.
Do you think the reason why we're seeing so many wrecks and such aggressive racing on the restart is because of what took place on that last green flag run where we just saw a freight train of Coasty Jr. just dominating out in front? Do you think that's the reason why we're seeing so much aggressive racing out in front to get as many spots as possible?
I think some guys, you know, they're just annoyed that there's so many cautions, and obviously, you know, when you're annoyed, your thinking level probably isn't the best, and your judgment ain't probably the best. So, I mean, just looking here, you know, I think a lot of guys could be doing a lot more give and take, and there's a lot of guys that are doing more take than give.
Let's see if there's any taking out in front. Ooh, 3 wide. Man, a lot of jostling for position mid-pack. And, ooh, Hicken just hit the wall.
59 car, Rusty Walrus, he got shoved way up out of line. Surprised that as hard as he hit the wall, there's no caution that came out for that, but finally we got green flag racing heading back into turns number 3 and 4.
Now in 15th place, Walrus was, or he is right now. Meanwhile, out in front, Brian Pasternak, second place. Darren Gilliam. Pasternak, I mean, he's looking for redemption this season. Was 1 point from glory. It took maybe an hour or so after the race even concluded for there to be an official word. At first, we thought he was the champion, but 1 or 2 hours later, it was confirmed that Reynolds would be the champion. He would lose it by 1 point. What do you think Pasternak's mindset is going to be? Is he just not going to be giving anymore? He's going to be taking as many points as he can to ensure that something like last year won't happen again?
Well, one of the guys I was chatting with him before the race, and he said, a lot of that, like the biggest reason why he didn't win the championship last year is that he pointed out just silly, stupid mistakes that he made earlier in the season last year as far as pit strategies. And I mean, we saw the beginning of last season, those first few races, what if he kind of took himself out of contention for some of those races, but it was the middle and then the end of the season where that, when he was in the 6 car, he was coming on really strong. But like we said, he was only down by 1 point. And one of the good things about Brian being out front right now is not only do you get 1 bonus point for leading a lap, but you get an additional 1 bonus point for leading the most laps. So right now, the only other guy that's been the leader right now, other than Brian Pasternak, has been the 00 Michael Kossi. So he's hoping to stay up there for a few more laps and take over the most laps led spot to get that additional point.
And Pasternak was part of a big 3. The other driver part of that big 3 was Ed Sound, made a bold move down the back straight to get by the 25 car Gilliam, who drops back to 4th. Another driver that's part of the big 3, the champion, of course, Dale Reynolds, he now found himself into 6th place, or 5th place, I should say.
And he was towards the back for quite a bit to start this race. Just couldn't get any good breaks between getting punted out of the way. He was one of the cars that were trailing to the back of the pack, that was losing time to the pack. But through all these cautions and being able to make some good moves on these restarts, he finds himself in the top 5.
Right now we're coming around to complete lap 52. It's going to be lap 53 when they cross the start-finish line halfway in the Daytona 250. So far, the only 2 leaders, I believe, have been the 00 car, Kossi, and now the 1 car, Brian Pasternak. Cody Hicken was in the apron for a second, comes back up. And now drive-through way out of shape, as well as the 38 car Baskinger. Ooh!
95 car of Carnation, he is all over the place. Didn't give the 38 car of Jake Baskinger much room at all, trying to get back in the line. And I think, that's the last thing he should be doing right now, because that pack in front of him is starting to pull away while they're racing.
And 2 drivers I think we haven't really talked about is the 92 and the 59 car Rusty Walrus. Look at how far back they are between them and the lead pack.
Well, yeah, they're going to be catching that 38 car Jake Bastinger shortly, and if I'm not 38, I would not be happy with the 95 Incarnation at all. He was just trying to ride single file, and Carnation went to the outside, all the way to the inside of the apron, and him messing around is what knocked that 38 car out of line, so he is dropping like a rock.
Yeah, it looks like the 38 car, he's not been given much respect. We've seen him been involved in numerous crashes, and majority of them have not been his fault. Ooh, look at that 28 car, and the 95 car jumps way below.
Low and
he's trying to force his way underneath the 77 car.
that ain't going to work.
3 wide.
Here's the thing, I mean, one of the things, though, about, there being no yellow line rule is that, okay, like, majority of guys, including myself, where, hey, if you're allowed to go and pass me below the line, okay, fine, but if you're going to pass me below the line, you better clear me by the time we get to the point, because I'm not going to move up and let you take that spot from me and force me up the racetrack.
On board right now with the 88 car Lundberg. Ahead of him is a Ford and Chevy of Soundhead and Pasternak, respectively. So far, it seems like we're starting to get a repeat of what we saw in that last green flag run. 1 driver leading with the freight train behind him.
One car that's been up there consistently, mentioned it before, that he did not have the best season last year. Jarrett Lundberg in that 88, he's been in 3rd almost all this race, and the 2 car
Now looking for more.
Goes up a little bit, and he's going to go up there in 2nd, so move the 88 car of Jarrett Lundberg up to P2.
And Soundhead, I don't know, maybe he thought he was trying to create a run or create a lane on that outside lane. Nothing, and he's going to fall back. Maybe he's got some help. The 85 car of Normile, fellow Ford.
again, you got guys in the back of this pack that are racing a little bit. They need to be smart here and get single file.
And look at Lundberg. He wants the lead, and he wants it now. He went way below the yellow line.
They're going to fall back in the line here, and looks like those 5 cars in the back, they're getting single file again. But Carnation not able to hold that inside lane a little bit, and he's going to drop to the back of this pack again.
Ooh, 25 car went way below.
25 got loose.
Oh, he got loose.
What happened is that Darian, he got really loose, and when he came down there and he tried to come back up, the 12 car was to his outside, and the 88 car going for the lead at Daytona.
Look at this, the 88 car, Jarrett Lundberg. In a homage paint scheme to Dale Earnhardt, that simple black red stripe car. He's now out in front in the Daytona 250. He's got another Chevy behind him.
Yep, and right behind him is the winner of the shootout, 82 of Joseph Lombard. He knows how to get it done at Daytona.
Absolutely, he was one of 5 drivers participating in that.
Mm-hmm. The thing about Jarrett, though, is, I don't think we really talked about him all that much when he was in Duel 1. He was one of 3 cars that was battling for the win in Duel 1 last night. Though it would not be a big field.
Yeah, that is right. The 88 car, Lundberg, he was one of 4 drivers or so that was in that pack. And I believe he finished 2nd or 3rd. No, he finished... whoa, who was that? Way out of shape. The 95.
Way on the inside.
Man, the 95 car's been out of shape. Oh, more contact.
The 28 car makes it 3 wide and clears both of them. That's not the first time.
And for the lead. Joseph Lombard, helped from fellow Californian Brendan Littell, passes the 88 car, going for the lead. At the stripe to complete lap 59, it will be Joseph Lombard.
Watch that 28 car. He made that an incredible move down the back straightaway. Went 3 wide, past 2 cars on the inside below the yellow line. Hey, wait. He is one of the most aggressive racers on this racetrack right now. Another guy who didn't have the best season last year. He's trying to make a statement. In fact, that's what his Twitter says. Make a statement, and he's going to go to the outside, and he's got a line of cars behind him.
Man, we saw that 82 car Lombard put a ferocious block on the 22 car Littell, nearly turned him.
2 by 2 all the way through this pack.
Outside lane has got... The outside lane's got some momentum. Look at what if racing. Pasternak way on the outside. Look at drive-through. Man, this is not going to work out. This is the recipe for a 13-car wreck.
28 car, he was able to clear him a little bit, but he goes back to the outside, tries to hold those guys that pushed him.
Side by side.
82 car is going to gain that lead back.
Side by side for second now, as Joseph Lombard has an edge down the back straightaway. Wow, I thought they were just going to spin out there. Great car control.
With that 28 car back, though, even though that outside lane, they don't have as much cars, it's a little bit more organized. Those cars are a lot more together. But once this inside lane gets organized, though, they're going to pull away from that outside lane.
You know, you were talking about the 28 car Hickman making a statement. He has made a statement all speed weeks. Oh, who is that? 27 car Reynolds.
3 wide still in the tri-oval. They're 3 by 3, it looks like.
Wow. Whoa, the 25 car out of shape.
Save it.
That was Gilliam.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Very intense racing by these drivers right here in the Corley. 60.
Yeah, I mean, there was like the last lap, and there's like, what, 35 to go?
Whoa, out of shape, 28 car of Hicken. And
hopefully we're back single file again, and
hopefully,
you know what though, 2 cars about ready to fall at the back of this pack. The 12 car and the 85 car. Drafting partners, if they don't get to the back of that 1 car soon, they're in jeopardy of losing this pack, and I think they lost it.
Well, one thing I was gonna say is something that you pointed out earlier. The 20 car Hicken, he made a statement that earlier that he was making one. He has made a statement all speed weeks long. As we talked about earlier in the pre-race show, he made that very, very amazing 4 wide pass on the tri-oval in dual race number 2 to be able to take the lead. And he has been making aggressive moves as of late. He's right now currently in 5th place.
I mean, Daytona itself, you know, being one of those tracks where anyone could win. We talked about earlier in the pre-race show that we had 2 guys last year who both won at the plate tracks that weren't necessarily up towards the front for the majority of the other races. One Incarnation, who won here at Daytona last year, He's sitting up here in this lead pack still, as well as Jarrett Lewis, not in the league this year, but he won Talladega last year, and that was his only win. So you see a lot of these guys up here who haven't had wins before. The 88 of Jarrett Lumber, 25 of Darian, 28 of Cody H. You know, these guys are going to be super aggressive.
Well, the 59 car, Rusty Waugh was coming on the pit road. We just saw a couple drivers way out of line. The 2 car of Ed Soundhead, I believe.
I believe that Rusty, he's trying to pull some strategy with him having lost touch with this pack already. Maybe with he pits. We got guys pitting.
Yeah, we just saw it. Right, a lot of drivers come on pit road.
Guys don't need the speed right here. Oh, the 22 and the 2. I don't know. That's going to be close.
We saw a lot of drivers. 4 drivers. Soundhead and Littell. Lombard's also on pit road.
Too. This may put them just outside the field when they make it to the end here.
The 59 car just leaves. And the 22 car spins as well as the 2.
Glitch. That pit road glitch. Unfortunately, if you got guys that are pitting in the pit boxes next to each other, this game has a glitch where you just run to the car right behind you. But 2 cars off, 22 cars off.
22 cars out. We got our camera on this pack right now. The 5 drivers leading. 27 car Reynolds. What's going on pit road?
Yeah, guys, we got about 2 packs of cars that are coming off pit road right now. We have the 2 of Ed Soundhead. He got out by himself by quite a bit. Then there's another pack of 3 that came out behind him, and then 3 more cars of What If, IDK, and Ron Gator who are behind them. So these green flag pit stops, they're definitely going to spread out this lead pack a bit.
Right now, the 5 drivers that have not pitted yet. 27 car Reynolds, 28 of Hicken, the 77 car drive-through, the 00 car of Cosi Jr., and the 95 car Ryan Labonte.
What's going to be interesting here is that you have these 5 cars who have yet to pit. They're going to have to pit right in front of these guys who have pitted.
And I think
to see how long these guys can stay out for.
They haven't pitted yet.
Look at, what's our lap signal right now?
I believe it is. We're just waiting coming across the line. 34, 35.
Yeah, 34. So, like I said, I believe like the max that these guys could go is 26 laps on fuel. I don't know if this pack right here, if they can stretch it that far, but it is really easy to save fuel if you're in the back of on this pack. So,
well, remember we saw a couple drivers come up pit road earlier, 1 or 2 cautions ago. Right now, we're now looking at Michael Cosi's point of view. He's got 7 laps estimated fuel. Whoa, carnage behind him.
77 lag. That's going to cause.
Oh, the 22 car and the 00 car made contact, and that's going to bring out the caution, I think. Oh my goodness, that's going to trap some drivers 1 lap down.
I mean, they'll get the option. Some of these drivers will have the option to get the wave around. So
that is true. That is true. But
wow, get the wave around, but they will have the option to pit. And
yeah, some of them haven't made their pit stops yet.
Yeah. So the only car it looks like who has pitted that is not trapped a lap down is the 2 car of Ed Soundhead. He's right there in front of that 28 car of Cody H, who was the leader. But yeah,
wow.
That 77 car of drive-through, he just lagged, and that caused all those cars behind him to start wrecking.
This is going to change everything, ladies and gentlemen. So now, of course, we have the top 4 or 5 drivers pitting. Reynolds, Hicken, and others. 00 car remains the race leader, though, as well as the 27 car of Reynolds. Huh, very interesting. Green flag's back out.
Flag out. What we got for laps
we have, wait, just wait for a minute. We have 31. And the reason why the 00 car Cosi, he's still leading, because he hasn't pitted yet. He has to pit in 6 laps.
That's what, well, tell you what, though, 6 more laps, that puts him in that fuel window. However, I mean, it's not the brightest thing, though, you know, to pit here at Daytona by yourself. So unless there's, you know, a couple other cars who are on this same strategy, you know, some of these guys, they are chatting with each other. Some of these guys, they may be like trying to perform a strategy with one another. So obviously, it looks like that Cosi, he's going to try to pit as soon as that fuel window opens.
And I think this is also kind of a smart strategy, though, by Cosi, because him staying out, he trapped a lot of drivers still 1 lap down. 7th on back is still really? 1 lap, I believe so.
Oh my goodness.
I believe there are about 6 or so cars on the lead lap. That could be completely wrong, but judging by what is point of view, Brendan Littell, who's in 8th place, 7th place is drive-through, and drive-through is apparently 45 seconds ahead. So while it might look weird, this could be an interesting strategy for Cosi Jr. trying to trap as many drivers one lap down.
Yeah, I mean that's one way, try to eliminate your competition. As we got, it looks like Rusty Walrus got thrown to that outside wall.
Yeah, whoa, someone's way out of shit at 22! Oh, and he gets in the IDK player!
Come back into the track. Big one happening going into turn 1.
Jonathan Ramos spins, oh, up in the air, gets T-boned by the 77 car Ramos. Or by a drive-thru, I should say.
Brought out a caution, so it looks like one by one these guys are gonna start making pit stops here, but we'll see what the green with 31 to go. If you see guys pitting right here, maybe one more caution, and some may try to make it to the end of the race from this point. It would be a stretch, but it's an interesting strategy.
We know for sure that the 00 car Winval, Michael Costa Jr., he will pit, as well as Ryan Labani, and I believe also Cody Hicken and Ed Soundhead. So we know that, though. So they aren't going to try and keep these drivers' laps down for much longer. All right, so Ed Soundhead, we were talking about him earlier, how he was out in front. He now is the race leader. Reynolds still in 2nd place. Road 2 has drive-thru and Ryan Labani. Road 3 has Cody Hicken and Michael Costa Jr. Green flag is out once again.
The car we haven't seen towards the front of this pack as of late is that 95 car of Incarnation. Some crazy strategy that he won here last year.
Oh, Hicken! Sorry to cut you off there.
No, like everyone's getting extremely bobbled up right here. This like turn 1, we said it all race. Turns 1 and 2 is key as far as trying to get through there clean without a wreck or a caution. And so far they've gotten everything straightened out.
When they come across this stripe, it will be 25 laps to go here at Daytona, the Daytona 250. You got the Fords of Ed Soundhead, and hit his first career start, drive-through in the 77 car out of Canada, trying to win the biggest race of the year in his very first start. You got Cody Hicken trying to make a statement in 3rd place. You got 4th place Darian Gilliam, and 5th Rusty Walrus. New car, new attitude, trying to start off the year right with the win.
The other thing, if we went restarted with 26 laps to go, we said the fuel window 23 to 26 laps. However, that 26 laps, that is assuming the window for the guys towards the back of this pack. So what I would be doing right now, I would be getting in line right now, use as little throttle as possible. If you're that 2 car of Ed Soundhead, or if you're that 77 car of drive-through, you just need to stay where you are. You cannot afford to save fuel right now. Maybe even the 28, he may be able to lift a little bit, but he can't lift too much because he'll have a pack right behind him. But if you're from 4th or 5th on back, there is no reason for you to try to have to pass people right now. Save as much fuel as possible so that maybe you'll be in a better position than others at the end of this race.
And right now, we know for sure the 00 car, he's most likely good on fuel, so he can just push as long as he wants.
28 to the inside, but he's going to let 77 back in.
Wow, that was a very... Oh, look at the 22 car. Littell contact with the 28 car Hicken.
Saves it.
Wow, that could have been disastrous.
What did we just say, though? That if you're in a 28 car, try to save as much fuel as possible. He knows that if he goes around that 77 car, he won't be able to lift as much, but you want to run that 77 right there.
12 car of Jonathan Ramos got up and hit the outside wall. He's going to fall like a rock to the back of the pack. Meanwhile,
the 22 car, he's going to shove it in there.
Wow! Forces his way to 2nd place. Not forced Littell up top, but look at the... Oh, and the 82 car made contact with Walrus.
Walrus got thrown to the inside wall. A bit of a 3-car breakaway. See the 95 car diving low. And towards the end of this race, Jet.
Yeah, intensity's only going to get higher from here. Hicken, he is getting very antsy. Forced his way to get by the 22 car of Littell. You know he's going to try to force his way to get by the 2 car Soundhead. Oh! Wow! And Lombard comes down low. They keep it together, though.
Watch for the 22 to make something happen going into turn 1. He's got a little bit of a run. Didn't get to his bumper in time.
Single file.
Still, though, I think it's just a little bit too early, but the 22, he's going to make a pass on that 28.
28 out in the dry, no one. Lombard goes by.
And you know what? I think that's by design, too. A lot of people have seen how aggressive that 28 car is, so how do you get rid of some of the harder competition? You work together and try to shove it towards the back of the pack, and not only does he have to make all these lead lap positions up, but he has to go through a bunch of these lap cars who are fighting for a lucky dog.
You're talking about being aggressive. The 85 and the 28 car being and banging as Hicken just smacked the outside wall. He has now most likely maybe lost a draft unless he can get something, maybe get behind the 85 car.
They're both side by side right now, and they're not doing each other any favors. We're going to have to fall back to that next group of two behind him. It's a 22. He's on the lead.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Littell forcing the issue, still in second place. Look at Jared Lombard. Where did he come from? He's not back in third.
That's about 20 laps to go, Jed. I mean, I tell you what, I think we could totally ignore the fact that these guys are trying to save fuel right now. I mean,
yeah.
I think they're banking on the fact that we're going to get another caution, and I think another caution will be good.
Well, who's that? That was a 92. Oh, and he spins. Collects the 95 car as well. Oh! Trey Normal slams into the left front of Hoffman, brings out another caution. With under 20 laps to go, another caution flies.
We got to check here. I wanted to check to make sure if that 88 car, if he is on a lead lap, or if he's one of those cars that are still trapped a lap down.
He's not.
He'll definitely. Oh, that's interesting because he was one of those cars that pitted, and so he's fought his way back on the lead lap.
I mean, currently, right now, we've got Soundhead, the race leader. Black Flag, Darren Gilliam in second. Yeah, Jared Lombard was one lap down, as well as the 22 car of Brendan Littell. So maybe that's why we saw Littell really force Hicken off the track to maybe get undo one lap. All right, so let's see if we got this right. Cody Hicken is the race leader, we believe. To his outside is Michael Costa Jr., your pick. Row 2 has Darren Gillum and Ed Soundhead. Row 3 has Brian Pasternak and core champion Dale Reynolds. Under 20 laps to go.
That 88 car, he pitted. So I'm wondering if maybe some of these guys who were a lap down, if they took a waiver on last caution to try to get back on a lead lap. So huge break for them to be able to pit under caution, but they're going to fight through that pack again.
Let me ask you a question, Cody. Do you think they're going to make it from here?
We're going to see a few.
Oh, no, they don't. 77 car.
I told you.
Trent Normal spins, drive-through spins.
I told you.
I think the 92 car Hoffman spins as well as Littell. Caution flies once again. Under 17 laps to go now.
Take a look who's in that lead right now. Matter of fact, that's the lead. Look who's on that front row. You got the most aggressive guy so far at Days of Thunder, the 28 car of Cody H. Gaming, and the 00 of Michael Cossey Jr. Obviously the fastest car so far this weekend.
So you got Hickman leading. We've seen how aggressive he is just to get to the lead. Imagine what he's going to do when he's a race leader. He's going to block like a madman. All right, so we got a couple drivers pitting. 3 drivers around the top 12. And this should be a good one, folks. And what the? Oh, the one car. Up in the... Alright, I think we're good. Okay, that was a bit odd. Cody Hicken leads. Coast on the outside. Green flags out once again. Under 16 laps to go.
At this point, I believe everyone can make an appeal right now, or anyone who has... who wasn't going to field before, they've pitted already, and with these cautions laps, we should be good.
The 77 car just punted Littell in the wall. And and Baskinger.
So with 95 car Carnation,
he spins
in the middle.
Lombard spins in turn 2.
Caution's out.
I believe Baskinger made contact with the 82 car of Lombard. They hit the apron, and Lombard spins out. By the looks of what we see in the chat, Lombard's not happy with what just happened.
Definitely.
Huh. Okay.
How many of these restarts are we going to have?
I have no idea. Man, oh man. Well, we'll believe when we cross our finish line, it will be 12 laps remaining. And it looks like everyone can make it on fuel.
Yeah, and I would rather not be any car in this field than that 28 car right now. That is the best place to be on this racetrack right now.
All right.
He's the most aggressive driver.
All right, folks. Let's see what happens here. 12 laps to go in the Daytona 250. Gilliam on the outside, Hicken on the inside, green flag out.
Interesting to see too, if we come down towards the end of this race, if we see any teammates working together. I mean, we see some of those Fords. They've done a pretty good job at working together, but as of now, they're kind of all strung out.
I mean, based on how this race is... Oh, man, more carnage behind him. 85 car. Oh, and he gets slams into the back end of drive-thru, who goes up in the air. After contact with Jake Baskinger. And another caution. I mean, I think we can start to be more critical of these drivers. I think... Look, we understand. It's 11 laps to go, but this is just ridiculous. I mean, we haven't even completed a lap yet.
I'll say, though, and with all these cautions, though, all those guys, like, we still only had 11 cars on the lead lap. That puts the 88 car of not Joseph Lumber, but Jared Lumber. He's back on the lead lap.
Yeah, someone's Denny Delivers perfectly said in the comments, cautions breed cautions. All right, so we have 10 laps to go, I believe, is what we're going to restart with. And let's just see if we can at least go ahead with one lap. Hicken inside once again, Reynolds outside.
22 didn't get going. He stacks up that outside lane.
Oh, and he does. Oh, big time.
But hey, look at those first three cars on the inside right now. That is 1, 2, 3. All of those are Powerhouse Motorsports cars.
So you can get a camera in here. Reynolds goes way up top.
One car he gets loose. Car he gets loose.
That allows Gilliam to get to the inside of him for third. But now he's got some help. Oh, never mind. Reynolds. Oh, ditches him. Look at Jonathan Ramos. Two tires in the grass.
0 car. Michael Cossey. He's in the.
Oh, and he spins.
He goes around.
Caution is out once again.
Dominant car at Daytona.
Wow. We saw the 77 car of drive-thru glitching hard, and that caused the 00 car, Cosi Jr., to just get stacked up, hits the wall, and spins out with 8 laps to go.
Good news, though, for all you Rusty Walrus fans. He's in 13th position. He is back on the lead lap.
That's right. He was not even a factor. He was in an on of his own between him and Caleb Hoffman, I believe.
We saw him in the first half of this race that he was up there towards the top 5 a decent amount of this race. So there's only going to be about 6 laps to go or so. Can he make his way through the field?
One driver that I am kind of surprised with is that 25 car of Gilliam. He has managed to put himself in the right spot, 3rd place on that inside lane. All right, under 5 laps to go. Soundhead, Hicken, green flag. Let's see if we can end this thing.
2 car, but he's getting really close to that bumper, but all of the energy right now is in that inside lane. There's only 2 big.
Oh, and 77 spins.
Another caution's going to come out.
Unbelievable drive-through. He was, man, I don't know what is going on with that 77 car. Was starting out very well, and now he has been the cause of some big-time accidents late in this race. Do you think it's probably just inexperience, maybe?
And I think it's just a product of, guys being impatient towards the end of the race. And, I think maybe an initiative would be to have damage on, like maybe have guys, like, be more cautious in their moves. But, it's, the race in the very first race of Season 2 of the Core League. And it's at Daytona, so you're going to see guys being aggressive. But unfortunately, some of that aggression turns into boneheaded moves.
Well, next week here on the Core on MDK is going to be a lot more calmer. We'll be heading to Richmond. Racing is for lovers. Richmond Raceway. I believe that's a 200 lap event, if I'm not mistaken. Next week, we're on the Core League on MDK YouTube channel. Meanwhile, we have to figure out who's going to win.
Checkered.
Green, white, checkered. NASCAR overtime. Hicken, Soundhead. Let's see. Remember, if a caution comes out, once they hit the white flag, doesn't matter if a caution or the checker flag, the next flag will end the race. And we do get unlimited attempts, I believe.
We get unlimited attempts, and that outside line, that's not terribly organized. But, oh, big crash.
Oh, big crash. Ryan Labonte, Brendan Littell. There's one more car, I believe, involved. I think it was the 82 car of Lombard. Caution again.
Oh, I think the 88 of Joseph Lombard, I think he lagged.
Lagged?
He may have lagged because I'm looking at Rusty Waller's stream and I saw the 88 car just soar back and rubber band forward.
Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Lombard had some issues. The 88 car of Lombard was in the air. Oh, man, oh, man. Well, only one driver is one lap down. Two drivers are. That's Caleb Hoffman. We believe that all these drivers can make it on fuel at least around... All the drivers have around 20 laps of fuel left. Okay. Attempt number 2, is it?
Take 2.
Yeah, take 2. Here we go.
Very interesting to point out, you got 2 drivers on that inside lane who have not won a core race before. Look at IDK, he's going to make it 3 wide in the middle.
Wow, that's very bold.
He's going to make it work.
Oh, it's not going to work. He's ping-ponging off of everyone. They save it. Oh.
Keep it going.
They keep it going, but look at IDK player.
45's going to get a huge run. That giant-ass spoiler of Cody Yates is punching a huge hole in the air.
Giant-ass spoiler. All right, fair enough. I mean, they are giant. Oh, man, top 5.
5-car breakaway, 1 to go, buddy.
This time by is going to be the white flag. The next flag will end the race, whether it's the caution or the checkers. Cody Hickman looking for his first Core League win as well as Gilliam. White flag, 1 lap to go.
Thing is what you got about.
Whoa!
They're looking low. IDK coming to the outside.
IDK to the outside, but he's got no help though. He's going to fall back.
Comes a 0-0 though. He's getting help.
And Soundhead jumps down low, forces IDK up the track. Here comes Gillian.
Here comes the 25 inside. 2 car has a little bit of a run coming off the corner. He's
Man. Oh, more contact. Wow, the 77 car.
2 cars.
Oh, it's 7 spins. Caution is out, I believe. Big crash behind him. Littell's involved, and that will end it. Unbelievable. Caution flies. Yesterday, Cody Hickens said he's going to make a statement, and my golly, he will.
The most aggressive car all weekend gets the win. How about that?
Cody Hicken wins the 2019 Daytona 250. Darian Gilliam in second. Ed Soundhead third. Unbelievable finish. A huge crash ends it under caution here at Daytona. What a thrilling battle that was.
You know what? It goes all the way back to that sequence of green flag pit stops. There were guys who came. They got all those guys who stayed out a few laps longer and trapped those guys a lap down when that caution came out. Cody Yates, as well as a few other guys, he was one of those guys. That strategy is what got Cody Yates the win.
All right, so let's take a look at the top 10 unofficial results. So Cody Hicken wins. Black Flags Matter. Darian Gilliam in second. Ed Soundhead third. Brian Pasternak in fourth. Jarrett Lundberg in fifth. Michael Cosi Jr. ends in sixth. Seventh is Ryan Labonte. Eighth is Rusty Wallers. Nice comeback from him from where he was in the middle portion of the race. Joseph Lombard in ninth. And Jonathan Ramos rounds out the top 10. What a race that was. What are your thoughts, Cody?
I think it's safe to say that it's a good thing that we're going to a slower track next week.
Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be.
Oh my goodness.
This is gonna be
I mean,
very
I
exciting.
think it was a few more cautions that we wanted, but at the end of the day, we had some green flag racing, and I know, like, it's like a lot of it's probably what the fans didn't want. Fans probably wanted to see some more green flag racing, but hey, at the end, once again, we had another first time winner at a restrictor plate racetrack, and this is a sign of what the season is to come. I can't wait for the next race.
Absolutely. You have to be aggressive in super speed racing if you want to win at these big tracks. Cody Higgin just that. He made a statement. Well, thank you so much for watching the 2019 Daytona 250 here on Core on MDK. Thank you so much for joining or for being with us, Cody Workman. This is going to be a fun season, man. Can't wait to see what next week holds us at Richmond Raceway. Oh, well, for that in mind, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jack Krause for Cody Workman. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time at Richmond Raceway for Race 2 of Season 2 edition of the Core League.